Welcome to Elizabeth City, everybody, on a 42-degree overcast day outside. We're inside Chess and Gym on the campus of Mid-Atlantic Christian University. It's basketball time today on the Owls Sports Network. It's game number 2 of 3 for your Warren Wilson Owls in this Lady Mustangs showcase today. It's Warren Wilson coming in at 10-8, taking on Florida College coming in at 1-14. Hi, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here once again. Let's meet the starting lineups. We'll start with the Falcons of Florida College. Head coach Cornelia Jones starts this way. At one guard, number 11, Lori Beatty, a freshman 5'8" from Tampa, Florida. At another guard, it's number 20, Haley Todd, 5'7" freshman from Park, Florida. And the other guard, number 22, Brooke Bronger, a sophomore 5'8" from Brownsburg, Indiana. Up front, number 3, Tony Cox, freshman from Tampa. Number 32, Dominic Powell, a senior from Tampa. Now the starters for your Warren Wilson Owls. Head coach Robin Martin, 19-20 in her second season, starts this way. At one guard, number 32, Jacina Hall, senior 5'3" from Jacksonville, North Carolina. The other guard, it's number 12, Keela McCurry, freshman 5'8" from Arden. And the other guard, number 3, Tashi Oglesby, sophomore 5'8" from Cheverly, Maryland. Up front for the Owls, number 22, Lindsey Bodner, freshman 5'10" from Toronto, Ohio, and number 33, Livia Bradbury, a junior 6'1" from Minford, Ohio. So that's the starters as we're just about set to go. Glad you could be with us wherever you're watching from. The Owls in their road green, Florida College in their home white here on this neutral court. Florida College defeating MacU by 24 last night. The Owls defeating Davis College by 21. So it'll be Cox and Bradbury that tip it up. Bradbury wins the tip, but Bronger gets it and drives to the bucket and scores 2 quick points for the Falcons. Into the forecourt now, it's the Owls. Slow start yesterday for Warren Wilson. When they picked it up, they really got it going. Let's see what the Owls do here today in the early minutes. Bodner top of the key. McCurry will shoot from 3, can't get it to go. And the rebound will be chased down by Powell for the Falcons. The Falcons coming in at 1-14, folks. This is not a 1-14 team. This is a good ball club. They played a pretty tough schedule this year. And here's a 3 now by Bronger. Can't get that one to go. Powell gets the offensive rebound, so extra possession. Oglesby knocked it away, but the Falcons stay with it. Now here's Beatty for 3, no good. McCurry collects the rebound. Owls into the forecourt quickly. Bodner on the right wing, back to Keela between the circles. Swings it over to Oglesby on the left. Oglesby now. McCurry again between the circles. Here's Bodner. Fakes the shot, drives in, had it poked away, and Powell comes up with the steal thanks to good defense from Lori Beatty. So Beatty surveys, guarded by Oglesby, tosses left wing to Bronger. Guarded by Lindsey in the man-to-man. I'll start after playing zone most of yesterday. Here's Beatty between the circles. 5 to shoot. Beatty to the bucket. Tried to draw the foul and got the whistle. So Beatty will go to the line for 2 shots. First foul of the game belongs to Jacina Hall. How about the season Lori Beatty's having? Florida College, a USCAA program, but they're a D1 program, and Beatty one of the best in D1. Shooting free throws at 82%. She gets the first one to go. She's 5th best in the USCAA, scoring 18 per ball game. She's also 9th with 40 steals. So an overall good player. She gets 2 out of 2 there, and Falcons leading at 4-0. McCurry into the forecourt. Owls looking to get on the board here as we approach 2 minutes into the ball game. Swung over McCurry, baseline jumper in and out, and the rebound controlled by Powell. So the Falcons get it into the forecourt quickly. Bronger gets it back to Beatty. Beatty swings it to Cox on the left side. Cox 10 points per ball game. Powell at the half circle with 7 to shoot, fell down. McCurry dives for it, able to get it out to Bronger. Bronger and a hoist now by Todd, and that will be a shot clock violation. Good defense on that possession for the Owls, who get it back now, still looking to get on the board on the offensive end. 17:34 to go here in the first half. Tashi Oglesby between the circles. Bodner on the right. Here's McCurry up top. Good ball movement here from the Owls. Oglesby for three, no good. Ball tipped, and Jacina Hall will keep it in play. Bounce pass goes to McCurry. Now Bradbury out to Jacina from way downtown. Can't get it to go, and the Owls are cold, much like they were yesterday here at the start. Into the forecourt, it's Beatty. Swings it over to Bronger. Bronger, pass intercepted. Good defense again. Bradbury comes up with the steal. Olivia Bradbury has played well so far in this classic as Bodner gets the baseline jumper to go. 4-2. And I got to say hi to Lindsay's mom, who yelled at her. It was my fault I didn't say hello to you, Mom, back home. And also good luck to Cole in his dance this weekend. Strong to the bucket, Beatty. Not much you could do with her. She is something special for Florida College, and she's got 4. Florida College leading it by 4. This is the first meeting between these two schools. USC AA D1 Falcons and the D2 Owls. Jacina Hall open for 3, buries it. 1-point ball game. It's a zone again, just like it was yesterday against Davis, so it's going to come down to making shots. Beatty looking underneath Bronger. Goes around Bodner, makes a nifty little move to make it 8-5 in favor of Florida. Florida College against the Mustangs yesterday started with a 16-0 lead in that ball game. Again, good ball movement. Hall fakes the 3. Back to McCurry, 9 to shoot. Oglesby from downtown, an air ball. De facto pass to Hall, who can't get it underneath, and Bronger collects the board. Now Beatty looking to push into the lane, floats it up, in and out. Bradbury with the rebound. Hall looking to push. Jacina into the lane, had it poked away, but she's also fouled by Haley Todd. 15-16 left to go here in the first half. First foul on Florida. Renee Scherer coming into the ball game. The Owls a little shorthanded today. No Tashay Glenn and no Brogan O'Brien. They're both out for today's game. Scherer gets the inbound on the right wing. McCurry now up top. Oglesby, trouble with it, but plenty of time to recover. Now hands it off to Hall, and Hall will direct traffic. Here's McCurry. McCurry pops from 3. A little bit long. Rebound controlled by Beatty. Beatty swings it to Bronger in the forecourt on the far side of your screen. Now here's Cox. Cox too strong off the glass. Hall with the rebound. Hall looking to push. There's McCurry up top. Warren Wilson looking for back-to-back road wins, even though it's a neutral location. Here's Hall from downtown. Can't get it. And McCurry chases the rebound down. Extra possession. Here's Bradbury, right elbow, no good. Rebound controlled by Bronger. Well, the Owls' shooting has really fallen off over the last few games, but they're staying with this D1 program. Florida College coming in. That MAC-U game yesterday was their first win as Powell gets it to go. Make it 10-5, but they lost to Columbia International, who the Owls also lost to. About the same score. It was a 5-point ball game, 66-61. They also lost to Tennessee Temple, who Warren Wilson will see on Monday. Bradbury's pass tipped out of bounds, so the Owls will inbound it with 12 to shoot. So Hall gets the inbound to McCurry. Jacina. Cross court, now McCurry up top. Oglesby for 3, no good. Bradbury, the rebound, too strong on the putback. Tip to Scherer, too strong. The Owls have made 1 field goal so far in the last several minutes. Bronger running the floor, had trouble with it, and Oglesby with the steal. Owls defense, though, still keeping them in it. Hall, cross court, McCurry pops the open three, buries it. 2-point ball game, 10-8. Owls can keep it up on this end. They'll be right with the Falcons here today. Falcons are, yesterday I said Davis was the best team that we would see, and boy, was that stupid thing to say. These Falcons are definitely the best of the bunch. That shot no good, though, so Oglesby had her pocket picked. Todd with the steal. Here comes Beatty into the forecourt. Beatty to Bronger underneath, all alone is Cox, and she lays it up and in. Owls trailing by 4 again, 12-8. McCurry into the front court. McCurry top of the key, bounce past Oglesby on the far side. Now Jacina Hall on the near side, back to McCurry, same spot. Oglesby between the circles. Here's Bradbury, thought about it. Instead, back out to Hall. Oglesby on the left, 7 to shoot. McCurry for 3, no good. Hall is there, can't get the putback. It's tipped to Scherer, though, who comes up with it. So Owls getting some extra possession. Good hustle on the offensive end, and we have a timeout on the court. 11:51 left to go. Owls trailing by 2. You're watching Warren Wilson Basketball on the Owl Sports Network. We'll be back. Well, we flashed the Twitter handle. You can also head over to our Facebook page and check out today's picture. Head coach Robin Martin and her dad came down to help out for the long weekend from Philly. So get a picture of those two. You can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. What a job Robin Martin has done here in her first year after Rob Shook did such a good job to build this program up. Martin's really brought in some great players, some good players coming in next year. Owls really making a great choice with Robin Martin at the helm. And you can see it out on the court, the way that these players hustle and play for her. A lot of respect for head coach Robin Martin here. So the Owls trying to tie it up. Bodner turnaround shot, no good. Beatty collects the rebound. Kurshima, glad to be back with you here inside Chesson Gym at MacU. We are in eastern North Carolina. Trying to draw some contact was Cox. That goes out of bounds, and they say last touched by the Owls. McCurry disagrees. So it'll be Beatty who will inbound it. Right side of the basket, 13 to shoot. Inbound goes to Cox, fakes the 3, drives in on Bradbury. Bradbury, good defense on her, and traveling is called. That was because of Bradbury. Owls have to try to get a Bradbury involved in the offense on this side. They've had trouble getting anything on the inside against this zone so far today. Here's McCurry. Bodner, now Scherer. Ball tipped out to Hall. Up top, McCurry. Not shy today. Can't get that one to go, though, and Beatty collects the rebound. Beatty into the forecourt. Beatty pops the jumper, can't get it. McCurry with the rebound. And McCurry facing a little bit of pressure from Powell, but backs off. Just one sub so far in this game. Scherer came on for Oglesby. Other than that, same 9 players that started this game out on the court for both of these teams. Jacina Hall on the right side, drives into the circle, into the lane, scoops it up. Way too strong on it, though. Todd collects the rebound. Over to Beatty now on the near side of your screen. Beatty dribbles to the top. Bronger will back it out near midcourt now. Swings left wing to Todd. 8 to shoot again. The shot clock winding down. Here's Cox. Bronger from way downtown buries it. Well, if you're the Owls, you'll live with that, though. That was good defense by Warren Wilson. And Bronger just hit a tough shot. Give her credit. Here's McCurry now on the right. Scherer on the left wing. McCurry on the baseline now. Tosses the Hall. Patient offense for the Owls here. Bradbury calls for it. A little bit high. Bradbury shot blocked by Cox and taken away. Beatty now will walk it into the forecourt. Beatty passes left wing Bronger. Florida College came into the tournament getting beat by an average of 28.6 points per ball game. They've allowed over 90 points 4 times in 15 games and over 80 points in a third of the games that they've played. As Oglesby returns, Sasha Miller checking in for the first time. Inbound to Powell. Powell puts it up and in. But here's the thing. You can see the difference between D1 and D2 at this level. When Florida College has scholarships to offer, it's a whole different ball game. McCurry from the baseline, no good. Rebound controlled by Powell. Outlet to Beatty. Beatty one-on-one. Spin, shoot, scores. 9-point game now for Florida. And the Owls need to heat up. They can't play around like they did with Davis yesterday. Bodner, strong to the bucket, draws the foul. And that's the best way to go when you're not shooting the ball very well. Get to the bucket and get to the free throw line. Bodner coming into the tournament, 69% free throw shooter. And misses that one. First sub of the game for Florida. And we'll tell you about her as soon as I could see her jersey number. Bodner gets the second to rim in. So the Owls trailing by 8 now. The sub, by the way, Jennifer Klutz, freshman from Tavares, Florida. This is Todd, and looks like we're going to get a foul on the Owls. So both teams with 2 team fouls. Pretty clean played first half. 8:04 left to go. McCurry picks up her first. Now Jacina Hall's going to come back in, as is Renee Scherer. McCurry and Bradbury will sit down. Inbound to Todd for the Falcons. That's the Bronger. Here's Beatty. Corner jumper, no good. Who can get the rebound? Oglesby tipped it, but coming up with it was Todd. So extra possession here as Bronger's open for 3. No good off the back of the rim. Hall with the rebound. Over to Bodner. Baseline jumper. She's open. Can't get it. Miller tipped it out. Here's Scherer. Jumper in and out. And the Owls are cold again, folks. Beatty with the rebound. One of the reasons why the Falcons are 1-14 is the schedule that they played. I alluded to it earlier. Southeastern 2 times, Embry, Ave Maria, Warner. All of those NAIA programs. And pretty good NAIA programs. So the Falcons come in battle-tested. Bodner, open jumper, no good. Ball tipped around. Todd able to chase it down. Under 7 to go now. And the Owls with just 11 points. Their defense keeping a minute, though, like yesterday. Bronger between the circles. Left wing to Powell. Powell pull-up jumper is good. So Florida opens up a double-digit lead now, 21-11. Bodner running the floor. Tried to save it and did to Miller. Jacina Hall over to Oglesby. Open 3. Can't get it to go. And the rebound fought for. They called a foul. on Scherer for pushing. So Keelan McCurry coming back in for the Owls. Cox returning for the Falcons. Bodner will sit down. Olivia Bradbury also returning. So Bradbury, Scherer, Sasha Miller, Jacina Hall, and Keelan McCurry. That's the 5 for Warren Wilson. Todd on the near side. Todd between the circles over to Beatty on the left wing. Beatty over to Bronger underneath now. Good moves by Cox, and she puts it up and in. So the Owls trying to find a groove here on the offensive end again for the third straight game. Miller, trouble with the pass, able to recover though. Jacina Hall on the left wing. Here's McCurry between the circles. Back out Miller on the right. McCurry, Hall, 3 ball, yes. So 9-point game. Closing in on the half like yesterday, folks. No stats, no interviews, so we'll step aside for 15 minutes. Bronger goes around 2 defenders, puts it up and in, just like that. Back to 11 for the Falcons. Jacina Hall, same spot. McCurry over to Miller. Miller dribbles in, gets it out to Scherer from downtown. Yes! Oh, it's a 2-pointer, they say. Foot was on the line. Well, if the Owls can heat up here and keep this to single digits heading into the half, or even close this half with a little bit of a run, that would be marvelous. Todd, now here's Beatty. That's an air ball, but Cox is there to clean it up. Back to 11 again. Falcons again in that 2-3 zone that they've been in for most of the game. I think they played man maybe on a couple of possessions, but for the most part it's been zone. Sasha Miller on the baseline, had it ripped away by Beatty. Good defense by her. Full court pass, Bronger, shot blocked by Scherer, but she climbed on top of her, and that'll be a foul. Well, they get her for the arm in the back. 4th team foul on the Owls. Bronger at the charity stripe. 69% free throw shooter. The Falcons also, Bronger has only played in 4 or 5 games now. Same with Tony Cox in just a few games, so I'm not sure if they brought in new players for the second semester, if they added some new bodies, or if they were just injured and returning, but either way, that has also played into one of the reasons why they have the record that they do. Bradbury gets the rebound on the miss, so 12-point ball game. McCurry top of the key now, directing traffic. Bradbury strong to the bucket, blocked from behind. Cox, good defense. Bronger on the left wing now. Throws cross court, Todd from downtown, yes. And it's starting to get away from the Owls a little bit here. The Owls trying to finish the half strong. They've got 3:30 roughly to go, so still time to work with. Got to start scoring, though, consistently. Here's Hall, yes. So Hall with a big bucket. Owls need some stops now. Bronger between the circles. Throws it underneath, but that goes over Todd. And Todd almost able to get it, but it goes just through her fingertips. So turnovers will help the cause as well. Boy, we saw all kinds of turnovers in that first game for both teams yesterday, but fairly clean played first half for both teams in terms of that category. Here's Oglesby on the right side. Hall again. Too strong on that one. And Bradbury tried to catch it as Beatty threw it off of her, but Bradbury over that short line. So Florida with the basketball now, up by 12. They've led throughout. Here's Todd, steps to the left. Now Powell, pull-up jumper from 12, no good. Bradbury with the rebound. And McCurry will bring it across the timeline into the forecourt. Throws the Hall on the left. Hall being dared to shoot by Todd. Stays patient, though. Now Hall will take it. She's all alone, and that goes halfway down and back out. I shot on that rim a little bit earlier today, and it's very bouncy. Here is Todd. Getting it in Bronger. Now baseline jumper from Powell. Good again. It's 14 now. Florida College has led by as many as 15. Under 2 to go in the half. Oglesby on the right side. McCurry between the circles. Hall, Bradbury now. Bradbury spins in, shoots. Can't get it to go, but she's fouled. That's just the third team foul on Florida. Combined, we've seen 7 fouls in this first half. So Bradbury at the line. Came into the weekend 74%. Money on the first one for Lil, who played big minutes yesterday. Really kept the Owls in the lead in that game when the Owls were struggling. Second shot no good. Bodner, offensive rebound. There's Oglesby on the left wing. Jacina Hall up top. McCurry on the right side. She'll pop from 3. No good. Oglesby flies in, knocks the ball out of bounds from Powell, so Florida will get it back. 1:22 left to go here in the half. Christian, be glad to be with you from Elizabeth City. Game 2 of 3. Tomorrow the Owls play at 2 p.m. and Florida College will play Davis at noon. Bronger is wide open, and you can't do that to a good shooting team. Biggest lead of the afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call this part of the day. At 16 now, 36-20. Bradbury, McCurry. Jacina Hall, top of the key. McCurry on the right side. Oglesby in the corner. 7 to shoot now. Bradbury doubled up, and it's a jump ball. Will stay on this side of the court. So Jacina Hall's going to inbound it. The shot clock is at 4. So the Owls won't have a lot of time to work with. McCurry with 3. Hall's got to shoot. She does. Can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound comes to Bronger. Outlet goes to Beatty. Beatty has scored a few points, but hasn't really been the driving force in this Falcons lead. She hasn't needed to be. As you see, Cox will go to the line. 21.1 seconds. So Beatty being more of a facilitator here. Cox, 2 out of 2 at the charity stripe. She gets the first one to go. Again, Cox played sparingly. Bronger has played sparingly. So lots of new and good weapons for head coach Cornelia Jones in the second half of the year. Owls can hold for the final shot here. Bodner strong to the bucket. Can't get it to go, though. Bradbury gets the rebound, and she's fouled. So that's team foul number 4. Owls have 9.1 to work with, and Jacina Hall will inbound it right of the basket. There's a wet spot on the court again. Take a break at halftime. We'll go away for the duration, a full 15 minutes. I'm sure maybe some people are heading home from work or getting home and wanting to start dinner, so you got 15 minutes to work with. Bodner at the free throw stripe, traveled with the basketball. So the Owls turn it over, 7.8 seconds to work with for Florida. Beatty into the forecourt with 3, with 2. Floater, no good. Put back by Cox, no good. And Florida College takes a 17-point lead into the locker room, 37-20. The Falcons with the lead over your Owls. So, folks, we'll step aside for the duration of the half and come on back in about 15. We'll have the second half play-by-play for you. Welcome back, everybody. Just about set for the start of the second half. 37-20, Florida College leading it by 17. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here inside Chess and Gym at Mid-Atlantic Christian University, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. It's the Lady Mustangs Showcase. And Coach Troxel from the Mustangs up here chatting at halftime. And got to say a big thanks to him. He's given us a camera person for both of these games as well as his game tomorrow. And everybody here, I used to work here. I worked here for a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and good people here, really good people. So the Owls, offense struggling a bit again in that first half. Florida College will get the ball to start things off in the second half. Owls are going to have to find a way to get it to Bradbury on the inside. Falcons playing great zone overall against the Owls. The Owls still cold, just in a shooting slump right now, trying to work themselves out of it. Now the Falcons with 10 to shoot. This is Cox. Here's Bronger, dribbles to the right, missed it long. Bradbury with the rebound. Owls played pretty good defense in that first half. Nice pass by Bradbury. Oh boy, the Owls are just missing point-blank range. Bodner first, then Oglesby. Jump ball called, so we're going to stay with Warren Wilson, but you can see the body language and the frustration right now for the Owls. You feel bad for them. They just can't get it in the back of the net. What do we got here? They're going to probably take a look at the shot clock, just make sure that's okay. So it's at 29 right now, and that's where they're going to keep it. Just so you know how they inbound it, right at the basket. Here's Bradbury. Bradbury doubled up, puts it up short. Offensive rebound again, out to Bodner. Baseline jumper, good. So the Owls first to strike here in this second half. Bradbury hit the deck. Owls got to get back on defense. Cox to the bucket. Blocking foul is called on Bodner, who tried to take the charge. There's one of those calls if you're a player. You just never know which way it's going to go. Of course, that half circle, which came in the college basketball a few years ago, that's always a blocking foul if the defender's in that restricted circle. First free throw up and in for Cox. And I've said it before, and I can't emphasize enough how much I hate that little half circle. That was for Dennis Rodman back in the 90s when he played for the Bulls. And for whatever reason, the NBA decided to keep it around, and then college basketball, in their infinite wisdom, decided to implement it. And it's just not helpful. But that's my opinion. Bodner on the baseline again, scoops it to Bradbury. Bradbury high off the glass is fouled. Draws contact on Cox. She didn't think so. But Bradbury will get 2 shots. So Bradbury back at the line. And you can see the halftime adjustment from Robin Martin, as Bradbury's gotten a lot of touches here in the first 1 minute and 11 seconds. And when you're cold, you're cold. Bradbury can't get that first free throw, so now we'll try to go 1 out of 2 here. And missed them both. Well, the Owls came in second to Cincinnati Claremont in free throw percentage, and even that's not going right for the Owls. Here is Todd. Bounce pass underneath Cox. Puts it up, and she draws the foul. So we saw 7 total first half fouls, and we've got 3 already here in the first minute and 24 seconds. First free throw, nothing but net from Tony Cox. Cox, a freshman. Several freshmen on this roster. It's a young team for Florida. As Cox gets 2 out of 2, and it's the biggest lead of the night, or day, whatever you prefer, for the Falcons. McCurry, top of the key. Oglesby on the right. Here's Keela, open from downtown from Bradbury. And can't get it to go. Beatty with the rebound. Beatty pushes it, throws it to Bronger, and Bronger unable to gain control. So the pass misses. Turnover gives the ball back to the Owls. McCurry into the front court. Jacina Hall. This Falcons defense is surrounding Bradbury. They're able to get it to her now. Out to Oglesby for three, no good. Rebound controlled by Bronger. So the Falcons continuing to frustrate the Owls on defense. Short on the shot, Beatty put back up and in by Powell, who has played well, and the lead balloons to 20 for the Falcons. Hall, Bradbury traveled with the basketball. Turnover gives the ball back to the Falcons. 17:36 to go here in the ball game. We're going to get a timeout from Cornelia Jones and company. So Florida College takes a timeout, and we'll do the same. 17:35 left to go. It's all Falcons right now. We're coming back after this. We'll take a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule, folks. Tomorrow, the ladies will wrap up their play in the Mackey Lady Mustangs Showcase by taking on Mackey at 2 p.m. Then Monday, doubleheader at 5 and 7 with Tennessee Temple. January 31st, the women at Iowasi. So that's what's coming up to close out the month of January. And then we've got 3 weeks of games in February, and that'll be it. And we're done. Owls trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. Losing this game will not be helpful. I don't think it'll be a devastating blow, but it's not going to help. That's for sure. Bradbury puts it up and in. Good move by Bradbury. Owls got to get some stops now on the defensive side as Florida's come out firing here, leading by as many as 22 seconds ago. Here's Todd, pops it at the free throw stripe, no good. Offensive rebound by Powell, and Powell traveled with the basketball. The other thing that this game is kind of showing you, and it's something that I've been mentioning for the last few years, is USCAA, the difference between D1 and D2, as Bodner buries the baseline jumper. So the Owls putting back-to-back buckets together for the first time in this ball game. Try to get a run now with another stop here. I did the USCAA, had the pleasure of doing the USCAA National Tournament a few years ago, and I just remember watching the D2 games and then watching the D1 games, and the difference is massive at the national tournament level. Owls get another stop here, though, so another bucket, and they've got a run going. Still plenty of time, 16-18 left to work with. McCurry's going to pick up an extra half second or maybe even a full second there, letting the ball roll. Jacina Hall to the bucket, puts it up short, and the rebound controlled by Cox. Beatty into the forecourt. Swings it right wing to Powell. Bronger, now Cox. Cox, like she might have carried the basketball. They call her for an offensive foul, saying she used her elbow, or not sure what the call was, but it will benefit Warren Wilson. Both teams with 2 team fouls now. 4 minutes and change into the second half. Here's McCurry on the right wing from Oglesby. Cross court, Jacina Hall. Oglesby, McCurry. Back to Jacina. She'll fire it from downtown. No good. Bodner flies in for the offensive rebound. Got her pocket picked, but Beatty lost it to McCurry, so we stay with the Owls. Underneath, it's Bodner. Had trouble with it. She's going to get tied up, and Florida College is going to get the basketball back. So Falcons leading by 18. The Owls have gotten some stops here. They've scored the last 4 points. Looking to get a run together with another stop. Bronger, Powell, into Beatty. Beatty turnaround shot blocked by Oglesby, but got a piece of her as well, and that'll send Lori Beatty to the line. Beatty is one of those several freshmen for the Falcons that has made an immediate impact. We mentioned her numbers in the first half. 82% from the free throw stripe. That's 4th best at the D1 level. 18 points per ball game is 5th best. She's 9th with 40 steals. She's also got 12 blocks on the year, and she gets 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe there. McCurry into the forecourt. 5 minutes into this second half. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you wherever you're watching from. As always, we do appreciate it. Bodner, baseline jumper again. Made the last 2, missed that one though. And Powell makes it a 1 and done for the Owls. Bronger tosses it to Beatty in the forecourt. Cox at the free throw stripe. Poked from behind. Good defense by Jacina Hall. And then Oglesby had it ripped away by Beatty. Beatty floats it up short. Rebound fought for. Jacina Hall tied up with Cox, and they call a jump ball. So Warren Wilson will get the basketball back. Good hustle from Hall. Bodner sits down. Renee Scherer comes in. Bradbury at the free throw stripe. Here's Oglesby for 3. Around the rim, no. Bradbury with the rebound, but an offensive foul. Used her arm. And that is team foul number 4 on the Owls. So Bronger into the front court. Here's Beatty. Beatty around Oglesby. Floater up, no good. And Jacina Hall gets the rebound. Had it poked from behind, but able to keep her dribble. Throws it to Scherer. Back out McCurry. Boy, they had Bradbury wide open, but nobody saw her. Scherer from the free throw stripe. No good. Bradbury tips the rebound. Put back, no, but she is fouled. So Bradbury will go back to the line. She missed 2 earlier in this second half. It also doesn't help. Again, the Owls are without Tashay Glenn and Brogan O'Brien today, so there's 2 more bodies. And you play back-to-back-to-back, and 4 games in 5 days, and you're not allowed to have players for whatever reason. That doesn't help. So lots of things working against the Owls right now, but they're fighting to stay in it. 13:40 left to go. Bronger, Todd between the circles. Bronger on the right wing. Gets a screen, had it poked away, but stays with it. Pass left side to Todd, and there's McCurry with the steal. McCurry takes it herself, puts it up, puts it in. So the lead is 16. Bronger pushes it into the forecourt. Bronger blocked by Oglesby. The ball deflected. McCurry comes up with it, and she is fouled by Bronger. Team foul number 4, both teams with 4. Lindsey Bodner coming in for Tashi Oglesby. Here's McCurry. She'll step into a 3 and hit it. How about Keela McCurry getting the steal and getting a 3-pointer? It's a 7-0 run for Warren Wilson. Beatty, top of the key, left wing to Bronger. Bronger drives in, puts it up too strong. Put back by Powell, no good. Scherer gets the rebound, had it poked away. And it comes to Bodner. So here come the Owls again. McCurry Over right side, Bodner. Nice pass by Lindsay. Good footwork by Bradbury. A 9-0 run. It's 11-point game. 12-17 left to go. And we get a timeout from the Falcons. So the Owls fans who made the trip to Elizabeth City starting to make some noise, as we will keep it right here. So the Owls at 10-8 right now. The current poll has them at 12th, but there's a new one coming out pretty soon. That's the coaches poll, by the way. We've talked about it before. One of several factors that can give you an indication of whether or not the Owls can reach the national tournament like they did last year. Their power ranking is 12th, like their coaches poll. The strength of schedule is really what's suspect, is the Owls are 30th. Now, Penn State Fayette, as of right now, hosts the tournament, so they get the automatic bid, and they're struggling. At last check, they were 5-9, a power ranking of 26. They're 20th in the coaches poll, but they have a schedule strength of 15. So they get an automatic bid no matter what, as the Owls get a turnover out of the timeout. Jacina Hall. Bodner had it poked away. Good defense by Beatty to recover. But it stays with Warren Wilson, currently on a 9-0 run. Jacina Hall will inbound it right to the basket. Hall skies it for McCurry. McCurry, Scherer, Jacina fakes the three. Defender Beatty stays with her. McCurry up top now. Still 14 to shoot for the Owls. Plenty of time. Jacina Hall. McCurry playing hot potato with it. Now they've got to be more urgent. There's 5 on the clock. Jacina Hall and a reach by Beatty. So Beatty bails Warren Wilson out there with the 15 foul and also gives the Owls a fresh 30 to work with. Owls trying to cut it to single digits for the first time in this second half. Bradbury from downtown, no good. McCurry gets the rebound. She's tied up with Bronger. And the possession arrow favors the Falcons. So it'll be Florida basketball. Bronger into the forecourt. Passes right wing to Beatty. Beatty, pull up three, no good. And the Falcons have gone cold here in this second half. Still leading by 11, though. Owls trying to keep pouring it on. Bodner, no good. Bradbury, the putback, no, but she's fouled. So Lil will go back to the line. Owls upcoming. They'll be home on Monday against Tennessee Temple after this weekend. All right, Bradbury misses the first free throw. Then they'll play their next 3 on the road. After this weekend, they'll have 4 home and 4 away games, so it's a little more even. Well, Bradbury struggling from the line. That is a rarity. Bronger out near midcourt. Passes left wing to Todd. Todd tosses right wing to Bronger. Bronger fakes the 3, drives in, draws the foul, can't get the bank there, but she'll go to the line for 2 shots. That is team foul number 5 on Warren Wilson. Florida's got 6 team fouls, so Bronger 69% at the charity stripe this season. She's a sophomore. A roster of mostly freshmen and sophomores. They do have a couple of seniors, Jessica Paramore, who we haven't seen yet. Also Kelsey Porter and Dominique Powell, number 32 on your screens. Both free throws good. That ends a 9-0 run for Warren Wilson. And it makes it 48-35. Oglesby. Jacina Hall on the left side. McCurry between the circles. Oglesby again on the right now. Here's Keela. Lindsey Bodner drives in, puts it up, no. Bradbury's there. Bradbury's short. Second effort, no, but she's fouled again. And we'll go back to the line. Boy, Beatty's got to be careful. She threw her arm in disgust, and luckily the official didn't see it, I don't think, or she might have gotten teed up. So Bradbury, let's see if she can figure it out at the free throw stripe here now. Oh, there is a lid on the hoop right now for Bradbury. 17 foul, by the way, for Florida, so the Owls are in the bonus with 10:26 left to go. If nothing else, whether the Owls can come back or not, we talked about that schedule strength. You would hope that a game like this would improve it. I can't believe that the Owls have a schedule strength of 30 out of 40 teams. You're telling me there's only 10 teams in the USCAA that has played an easier schedule than Warren Wilson? I don't think so. Especially those early season games. That win against Alice Lloyd. Played a good Columbia International team. The Owls play a tough schedule. Here's McCurry from downtown. Buries another one. So McCurry with 2 threes in this second half, keeping the Owls interested in this ball game, down by 11. Florida's been able to hold off the charge, though. Let's see if they have another bucket in them here. It's Todd, now Powell. Powell up top, Bronger from downtown. Boy, that rainbow 3 goes in. McCurry to the bucket. She's fouled by Todd. So that's 18 fouls. Keelan McCurry goes to the line for the 1-and-1. McCurry, just a 58% free throw shooter. And can't get it to rim in. Rebound controlled by Cox. Outlet goes to Bronger. McCurry on her. Was it now Beatty? Beatty to the bucket, draws the foul and the bucket. So just like that, it's back to 16 with a chance for an old school three-point play here from Lori Beatty. And she completes it. So the Owls had a 9-0 run a little bit earlier in the second half, but Florida College has responded, and the lead grows to 17 again. There's McCurry on the right wing. Oglesby. Now Hall on the left. Bodner, baseline, drives in, draws the foul. So Lindsey Bodner goes to the line, 69% free throw shooter. And if her folks weren't around in the first half, hi to Mom from Lindsey. And also good luck to Cole. He's having his first dance this weekend. It wasn't my first high school dance, but it was my first. It was, I think I was in 7th grade. And I went to the dance, and I got all dressed up, and I got to the dance, and nobody was dressed up. Everybody was wearing jeans, and I looked like such a nerd. Second free throw in and out. That ball is tipped. Beatty tried to save it. Oglesby comes up with it. Now Bradbury can't get a handle on it and lost it out of bounds. So 8:40 remaining in the ball game. And the Falcons with the basketball, leading it by 16. Bronger over on the right side, dribbles to the top of the key. Left side Beatty from the elbow, good. So the Owls have time, but they need another run here. And a one and done as McCurry misses. Bronger will get it into the front court. So give the Falcons a lot of credit. McCurry with the steal, and then she gets fouled. So McCurry with 3 steals. This is now the 9th game out of 19 or 20 for McCurry, where she has had 3 or more steals. She'll go to the line. 10 team fouls on Florida, so McCurry gets 2 shots no matter what happens here. First free throw up and in. Renee Sherrill will come in. Lindsey Bodner will sit down. Second free throw up and good. So it's 58-42. Bronger into the forecourt. Beatty on the left, getting underneath. Cox, screen and roll, lays it up and in. McCurry, Oglesby on the right side. Hall on the left from downtown. Bounces up and in. Owls continue to fight, continue to shoot. Falcons continue to lead. Beatty, give and go. Will go to the line. That is team foul number 7 on Warren Wilson, so now both teams in the bonus. And Beatty is pretty much automatic from the charity stripe. So Beatty's a freshman. Tony Cox is a freshman. Bronger is just a sophomore. Haley Todd is a freshman. Folks, at some point, I got to think, and it probably won't be this year just because of the schedule and their record, but this is a Florida College team that could compete in the USC AA championship. And it wouldn't surprise me next year to see them there. Jacina Hall continuing the fire. Can't get the bounce that time. Rebound controlled by Porter, who's come on. So Kelsey Porter from Portland, Tennessee, on for the first time here in the half. Cox was not expecting the pass, and we have, what do we have? Foul on Oglesby, I believe. So that'll send Porter to the line. Correction, it's the second on McCurry, so my apologies. That's a little bit of a blind spot area for me. Bodner comes in. Oglesby comes out. Porter, first free throw up and in. I think McCurry was trying to sell the official. You saw her pointing at her arm saying she's the one who fouled. I've yet to see a reversal in college basketball or really any sport. Offensive rebound to Powell. And here's Beatty directing traffic as she dribbles to the left. Beatty to the baseline, doubled up, throws it for Cox, and Cox lost it out of bounds. Turnover gives the ball back to Warren Wilson. 6:35 left to go. If the Owls are going to make a run, they've got to get it to around 12 in about the next 2 minutes to have a realistic shot, and that turnover is not going to help their cause. Here's Beatty. Now left wing, it's Porter. Turnaround shot, Cox, blocked by Bradbury. Cox got it back and traveled with the basketball before Jacina Hall could tie her up. So Owls get it back, and Hall shaken up. So Hall shaken up. We will step aside momentarily while they look at Jacina, and we'll be back right after this. Well, the Owls playing short-handed already. Justina Hall's going to go to the bench. Hopefully she just got shaken up. And she'll just need a minute to gather herself. We'll find out. 6:18 left to go. Chris Sheeman back here at MacU. Owls trailing by 18. Renee Scherer came in for Justina Hall. And at some point, the attention for the Owls might have to turn to tomorrow because, again, the Owls have to go 2-1 in this tournament. They need some help to get into that national tournament, and the wins have to start coming now. As Bradbury hits the deck, she will go to the line. So 5:56 left to play. Bradbury shooting 2 here. She struggled here in the second half at the charity stripe. Makes that first one, though. And the second rim's in. 16-point ball game. Florida College, they're going to play Davis tomorrow at noon. The Owls and Mustangs will wrap up this Mustangs showcase at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Well, it'll be really interesting to see what Davis can do against Florida College. Davis doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of offense to work with, and they're going to have to score some points against these Falcons. It's Falcons against Falcons tomorrow as Bronger goes around the defense and lays it up and in. Lindsey Bodner on the left side. Now McCurry between the circles. Justina Hall getting some ice on her head, so she took a shot on her head. McCurry from downtown, can't get that one to go. Had a couple earlier during that 9-0 run for Warren Wilson. But the Falcons are in cruise control here at MacU. They have led from the opening until this point. From start, possibly until finish, as Cox will go back to the line. Well, make sure to join us tomorrow. We're going to bring the Mustangs broadcaster, Mr. Mike Davis, in to our broadcast, and we're both going to do play-by-play. So whenever the Mustangs have the ball, he'll call the action. Whenever the Owls have the ball, I'll call the action. So looking forward to working with him. We have a timeout, full timeout for the Owls. 4:53 left to go. We'll step aside once again and come back. Folks, don't forget you can get updated news, player profiles, all that good stuff on WarrenWilsonOwls.com. 4:53 left to go here in this ball game. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you here at Mid-Atlantic Christian as Cox will go to the line. Owls with their 9th team foul on that last foul before that timeout. As Cox gets the first one. Cox towing the line and makes the second. So to lead back to 20, it's been as high as 22 for the Falcons here in this ball game. This is a Florida College team that came in averaging 54.4 points per ball game and allowing 82.6 points per ball game, the third worst at the D1 level in the USCAA. Their average margin of loss was 28.6. But again, just looking at the stats, Cox hasn't played much. You see how big she's been. Bronger hasn't played much either. You see how big that she's been as well. So I'm thinking they had some injuries or just added some players late, and That's the reason why they had their slow start, as Beatty strung to the bucket. And what do the Owls do here in this situation? You've got a game coming up in less than 24 hours. There's another turnover for Warren Wilson. They empty the bench a little bit. We've only got so many options right now with just 3 players plus Jacina Hall, who looks like she'll return. Bronger had it poked away. Good defense by Warren Wilson there. And then McCurry poked from behind by Cox. Beatty open. Beatty hits again. And this is the biggest lead of the night for Florida. 71-47. Renee Scherer too strong off the glass. A rebound by Beatty. And Florida College now looking like they're going to win back-to-back games here in this Lady Mustangs showcase. And a good chance to make it a sweep by defeating Davis tomorrow. Counted in the foul from Beatty as she was fouled. Got the bucket. Meanwhile, the Owls are going to lose their 7th on the road. Again, this is technically a neutral court, and they're going to go to 4-4 against USCAA teams. Good news for the Owls, Jacina Hall coming back out there. Sasha Miller checking in. Bradbury is likely done. Renee Scherer will come out. And the three-point play is complete for Beatty. Interesting to see if the Falcons empty their bench a little bit. They've played, I think, 8 players. They have a short rotation, but they do have some extra bodies out there if Coach Jones wants to give her players some rest. Lindsey Bodner put back short on the three-pointer from Hall, missed. And the rebound again controlled by Beatty. Under 3 to go here in the ball game. Bronger. Over to the right, Klutz has come on, so Jones bringing on one sub. Klutz out there with Porter. Klutz, turnaround shot over Miller, got it to go. Klutz has about 3 or 4 inches on Sasha Miller there, and using her size to her advantage. McCurry on the right wing. Jacina Hall. So the Owls have played Florida College. They've also played Concordia Selma. I still can't get over that schedule, strength of schedule for the Owls being at 30th. Penn State Fayette at 15th. Has Penn State Fayette played the D1 national champions from last year? Do they have them on their schedule? If they do, then okay, but it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. Of course, the Owls can help their cause if they can win out. They've got some winnable games coming up. Tennessee Temple will be a tough game for sure. Tennessee Temple beat these Falcons. I don't know what to make of it because CIU, Columbia International, is what I mean by CIU, beat these Falcons, but only by 5. And these Falcons look like they belong in the WNBA playing in this tournament. Here's Oglesby from downtown, an air ball, and Oglesby has yet to hit one from behind the arc here today. Oglesby last year went to the bucket a lot more. She's living behind the arc this year. She's actually shooting a better percentage from downtown than inside the arc. 33% from three-point, 28% from inside the arc. But the Owls just in a bit of a shooting slump right now. Put back is good from Powell. And we have less than 90 seconds to go. Hi to former Owl Sarah Blandon, who said something nice on Twitter. Sarah, we miss you. Looking forward to seeing you at the next home game, maybe. Jacina Hall is fouled, so she'll shoot a couple. That was the first foul on Klutz. And Robin Martin getting set to bring in Satori Isaiah. Also coming on, Renee Scherer. New players for the Falcons checking in for the first time. Hannah Pasal. Also coming on is Brandy Stupin. And I think one more who we'll tell you about. Alexa Fernandez is out there. And Sydney Laughlin. So some new players out on the court. Hopefully I got everybody there. It's Pasal on the right wing now. As both these teams bringing in some players to give them some rest. Turnover there as Bodner comes up with it. And what do we got? They call a double dribble or something on Lindsey Bodner. I didn't see the call from my vantage point. Either way, it's a turnover. And let's keep this clock moving, please. 78-49, by the way, as McCurry comes up with the steal. Count it, and the foul. So don't tell Keela McCurry the game is over, as she's playing hard to the end. 45.3 seconds to go, and Keela McCurry will go to the line to try to complete the old school three-point play. And she does. So 78-52 now. Into the forecourt, Laughlin. Laughlin had her pocket picked. Isaiah gets tied up. And are they going to call a foul on Fernandez or not? They will. So Satori's going to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. These will be the first free throws of the season for Isaiah. She's only attempted 5 field goals in her limited minutes, so chance for her first points of the season here in mop-up duty. And misses that first free throw. 36.5 seconds left to go. Again, tomorrow our game is at 2 p.m. Isaiah gets the first free throw to go, so her first point of the year. And Bodner with the foul. Laughlin will go to the line. So Laughlin, Sydney Laughlin, 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe this season. It's that first one to go to stay perfect on the year. And missed the second. What do we got? Lane violation on the Falcons. So Owls will get it back. 1.5 seconds difference between game and shot clock. At this point of the ball game, folks, it's basically an extended practice. Just getting some work in here. Isaiah from downtown can't get it to go. Tried to follow her shot. Coming up with the rebound is Laughlin. And the Falcons can run it out here. Laughlin into the forecourt and lost it. Had it deflected out of bounds. They say last touched by the Owls. Fernandez into the forecourt. Fernandez fires it up, no good. Renee Scherer with the rebound. 2 seconds left to go. Isaiah will dribble it out, and the Owls will fall here to Florida College, 79-53. So the Owls fall to 10-9 on the season, and they will be in action again tomorrow. We'll set the broadcast schedule here in just a moment. As soon as I can bring up the little thingy. There it is. So tomorrow, Owls will be back in action against MacU to close out this Mustangs showcase at 2 p.m. Then on Monday, doubleheader with Tennessee Temple, 5 and 7 p.m. And on the 31st, it'll be the ladies at Hiawassee, and that'll be at 2 p.m. So a tough one, tough night, tough day for Warren Wilson, but better days ahead for sure for the Owls as they will take on MacU here in this Classic tomorrow. Once again, your final score, Florida College 79, Warren Wilson 53. Big thanks to everybody here at MacU for helping us out, and as always to everybody back home watching. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Enjoy your Friday night, everybody.